certainly one of the biggest challenges we see in our industry is certainly safety. You know, all the national framers pretty much have their own safety program. Where this, we felt would really benefit the industry would be trying to set a standard for safety that could be used across the country, at least in most states. And also a huge benefit is working with our tiered subcontractors. A lot of, our tiered crews do not have either the money or the means to be able to go out and hire a safety consultant to spend $5,000 or $10,000 to be able to develop a safety program. So our emphasis went into developing FrameSAFE as a framer safety program. It's basically broken up into 5 different sections: job orientation, certainly the boilerplate safety manual. We have an insert section that can be used for site specific that can be incorporated into the manual. Right now, toolbox talks, we probably got, I don't know, 30, 40 of them out there that come basically straight out of the manual, so that when you're teaching and educating and training your workers, you're basically using your manual and your toolbox talks that are repeating the same information. And then we got a lot of job site posters, and then of course training. The job orientation startup sheet is, just some very basic information that sometimes gets overlooked. When your workers are coming to the site, how to treat certain injuries, how to handle emergencies. Do you know the address of where the local emergency room is or hospital is? Just very basic information. The guys get out of the truck, you want to get going, you want to get your work done, and then all of a sudden something, unfortunate happens, and then everybody's looking around. This kind of keys everybody in as soon as they show up on the job. This is the table of contents for the safety manual. It has 2 purposes. Certainly one is the table of contents, but it's also set up for documenting your training. So in each one of these sections, you can pull the table of contents out, do your training, keep your record keeping. This is a part that can be inserted into the FrameSAFE manual. If you have a site-specific job that you want to identify certain framing applications that doesn't allow you to use conventional means of fall protection, this allows you to be able to do that. We've identified 5 different locations that we feel that it's very difficult to have the proper anchor points to be able to tie off to. Your trusses, your floors, your sheathing, and also all your bracing within the floor sections. Right now, we've got 2 alternate means of being able to do the installation of these 5 applications. And what you can do is when you go in and develop your site-specific plan, you can identify which A or B method that you'd like to use and insert it into your site-specific. Right now it is set up with 2 categories. One come from George's company and means and methods that they work in the Texas area. The other application is geared more for the metropolitan DC area, Maryland, and ways that Ace Carpentry and some of the other local framers do it. We certainly encourage any member that has a alternative means of installing trusses that conventional means does not work for you to give us feedback on it, and we will certainly review it and And if we feel that it's a safe way to protect the workers, we can certainly incorporate it into other options to be able to do this. Now, the one thing we did do when we started looking at this is, and I've sat on a lot of safety committees over the years, and everybody is trying to fight OSHA and their rulings and trying to get things changed, and have had very little success in doing it. So the approach we took was to take the 1926 and write a program that actually complies with it. And as George says, with the site specific, it allows us to do it in, outlining some of the greater harms. And you don't see some of that verbiage in this document, but it is in the documents. As I said, the toolbox talks, the pictures, the verbiage, all of it comes straight out of FrameSAFE. We tried to make them very visual, with not a lot of text if we could, because we wanted them to be, easy to train, easy to get the methods across. The toolbox talks and FrameSAFE are in English and in Spanish, which allows, a lot of our workers, which are Spanish, to have it in their own language and be able to understand it. This is just a few examples of the different posters that have been designed, that you can go in on the website, print them off. What we do is we print them off and laminate them and use them on all of our job sites. Within FrameSAFE, there is standardized reports for, accident reports and property damage and auto. I'm sure, over the years, everybody has kind of developed their own. So what we've done was kind of pull together a lot of different people's forms and come up with, one standard form that we felt that would collect the data that is needed for the proper reporting.